Hello everybody, welcome to the Serial Hobbyist YouTube channel. My name is Jordan. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. And if you're one of my subscribers, welcome back as always. Today, we're gonna be taking a look at one of the most, if probably not the most affordable tournament-sized backgammon boards that you can get. This is a new addition to my collection, and I wanted to look at this and hopefully give people that are wanting to step up to their first real board or their first full-size board an opportunity to see what this offers. This is the Middleton Games 21-inch backgammon board. It's got 1.5-inch checkers, it's got stitched points, it's got a nice faux leatherette case, and a lot more that I can't wait to tell you about. We're gonna look at the exterior of this like we always do. I'll do some measurements, I'll talk about the components, the build quality, all that stuff. Then we'll open it up, put the camera overhead, I'll show you all the checkers, the dice cups, the dice, the points, the play field, all that stuff. We'll do a few rolls, talk about the sounds and the sights, and lastly, I'll give some overall impressions of this board. Before I dive into that though, if you are not a subscriber yet, I would love to have you become one, so hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you don't miss any other board reviews coming in the future. Maybe one more this week and definitely a couple more in the near future. And then like the video and leave a comment as the video goes on with your thoughts on this board. I would really appreciate it. But enough about that. Let's take a look at the Middleton Games 21-inch tournament board. So Middleton Games, not a brand that I was familiar with before receiving this backgammon board, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. Gammon Village sent this over to me. I think they saw my previous review of my Wycliffe Brothers, and they wanted me to check out one of their more affordable boards and give my thoughts on if I think this is good for a beginner. So this is from Gammon Village. They have no creative say over what I talk about in this video, no adjusting or editing the script. I'm gonna give you honest thoughts, no compensation received apart from the board itself, but I'm gonna make this as unbiased as possible and share my honest thoughts about what I think. Middleton Games is owned by Gammon Village. They have the factory, they do all the production on this board. So if you buy this from them, like, you know it's coming directly from the Gammon Village brand, which is a pretty reputable brand. They make awesome boards. I've been really happy with all the boards that I've purchased from them. I'm definitely a customer of theirs, and I've liked the products that I've owned so far. So Middleton, I think this is their most affordable line of backgammon boards, and they have 15, 19, 21 or 15, 18, 21. So they have different sizes like travel, mid, and tournament. And this is the largest one at 21 inches in length. And since we're talking about dimensions real quick, I actually have my tape measure here. So let's do just some quick measurements just so we can get that out of the way. So I think tournament size is not really like fully established what that means. I think most people say 1.5-inch checkers and above, or 21 inches in length as far as the board. I don't think there's like an official standard, but correct me if I'm wrong. But this is definitely what I would consider tournament size as far as the case, coming in at, yeah, 21 inches exactly for the length, and then the width about 12 closed, so you're looking at 24 open, not including the handle and the clasps. Now, speaking of the handle and the clasps, we've got brass clasps right here, as well as brass accents on the handle, and the handle is finished in the same brown faux leatherette that's covering the whole board. And I have to say, this seems like pretty good stuff. I've got a handful of faux leather boards. I don't think this is any inferior to those. I mean, faux leather is faux leather in my opinion, so it feels really nice, and I love one of the things I really love about this is how thin the board is. So despite being 21 inches in length, this is only closed, I don't know, 2.5 inches thick. So it's quite thin, and we can do some comparisons real quick. I've already reviewed this Silverman & Co. board. This is the 19-inch model, also from Gammon Village. I bought this one. And so if we line these up, well, let me do the Middleton in the back. If we line these up, you can see that this is quite a bit longer, but if we tilt it this way, not really any difference in the width between these two boards. It is a bit thinner than the Silverman & Co. So longer, thinner, about the same width, okay? And so what does the extra length get you? Well, you can stack more checkers on a point. We'll check how many we can fit across the whole board in just a second. But overall, this guy, I think you're looking at around $100, and Gammon Village does sales frequently. I've talked about this before. There's pretty much always some sort of sale running there, whether it's 10%, 25%, different brands go on sale. So you could definitely get this under $100, which in my opinion is a pretty good deal. Hinges on the bottom, pretty standard here. They match the clasps and the accent handle up here. But enough about the exterior. Let's crack this open and we'll take a look at all the components. All right, let's pop this Middleton Games set open and take a look at what you're getting. So first things first, when you open this up, you're gonna see stitched points on the play field. So that's a sticking point for a lot of people. I don't mind stitch points, my only requirement being that they're somewhat inlaid into the surface so the checkers don't get caught up when you move them around. And I can say that that is the case here. So you can easily like move checkers across the points. There's a little bit of noise as it rolls over. It's not a flat surface. There is some texture to where the points are sewn in, but your checkers do move across them smoothly, so that's okay with me. Now we'll get to the checkers in a moment here. So we've got brown and white points on a brown field. This is faux suede, I think is what the website says. And then, this is just, I think some composite wood covered in the faux leatherette for the general case, and that faux suede kind of covers the bear off trays, the dice storage area, and the play field. Now, in addition to all of your standard backgammon components here, they do give you backgammon rules. It's got basic strategy on it, so if you haven't played the game before, again, this is a good beginner board to start with. Let's talk about the dice cups. So these are pretty basic dice cups. We've got the faux suede on the inside here, same leatherette on the outside. Props to them for having everything matching. I have bought other boards from other companies that cost the same or more, where the cups were cheap plasticky compared to like a nice wood board, which was pretty shocking. So love that they have the same materials as the board, and we've got a nice matching set. So cups, let me do some shakes here for you with the dice. Not super padded, but sounds good. I don't mind the sound. Yeah, dice roll good. The dice are same colors as the checkers, the brown and the ivory. Points, looks like I'm not seeing any, playing I didn't notice any paint deformities or anything like that. Yeah, all the pips look good. I didn't really give these too close of a look. And yeah, these look really great. So no concerns with these. They're not precision dice, of course, but they roll good. They feel good. We'll do a couple more rolls in just a second. Doubling cube, little baby doubling cube. I know that's a sticking point for some people. Some people want those to be, to stand out a little more. It's practically the same size as your dice. So any suggestions for this board would be maybe we bump the size up of the doubling cube just a touch, but it'll do. And honestly, a lot of beginners out there are not using a doubling cube, so you can always upgrade yours when you get to that point in learning the game. So doubling cube right here. The checkers are something I am quite impressed with. These are the same or very, very similar to the Silverman & Co. So they're the urea stone. They're pretty heavy. They've got that nice like clacky, like ceramic or porcelain sound to them when you hit them together. I really like that. Brown and ivory, good weight to them. And let's do some measurements on these. 1.5. As far as the millimeters, I'm not sure. I'm guessing these are probably 38 or so, maybe not full 40 millimeters, but yeah, just slightly under 1.5 on my tape measure. Okay, so let's kind of lay some of these checkers out. We can do some rolls and talk about play experience. Oh, it is, okay, let's talk about the length first before we do our rolls. So how many checkers can we get across this guy? So that's one of the benefits of the tournament size board. Okay, so not quite right there. So we've got 5 on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on this side. So 13 checkers across, 6 and 7. So 13 checkers, that's probably the most of any board that I have. So the extra length is really nice, and it feels, even if it's not super wide and thick, it feels like a very imposing tournament size board, which I really like. And for a beginner, I think that's part of the aesthetic and the enjoyment of playing, is to feel like you're playing this big, luxurious game, and I think the size of this definitely adds to that. So let's get the rest of our game set up here. Now I'm not gonna sugarcoat the fact that this board is definitely a budget board. It's definitely not on par with the Wycliffe brothers that they make, but it's priced accordingly, I think. And it's always important to, think about boards in relation to the competitors, maybe like what boards in the price category are gonna be. And you browse, $100 is probably kind of your big box store, your Amazon board selections. And looking at that, I don't know what else you're gonna get for $100 that's gonna have this good of checkers and this good of size. Okay, so we've got a nice layout here. Let's do some rolls. So we'll start with our brown here. 5 and 3. Oh, okay, wait. Yeah, we'll just say that was our opening roll. People get mad sometimes when I don't roll one of each dice. This is just for fun, guys. So we'll play that like that. We'll get white there, roll there, 6 and 2. Probably that right there, yeah. 3 and 2. Probably bring that down to the 5, yeah. Oh, another 3 and 2. We could protect this guy. We could... I'm not sure on this guy. Maybe come down here and bring this over here. Or slot our 5, yeah? Okay, strategy gurus, let me know down in the comments what you think. So you can see, I mean, checkers are moving across just fine. That's really the only time I ever have a problem with stitched points is if the checkers hang up, but they do not on this board. They are recessed down into the playfield, which I really like to see. Oh, let's do checkers across the board. So, I mean, relatively good lineup. We've got probably, I don't know, 3/4 of a centimeter there. So there's a little bit of wiggle room, but I think, let's see, just kind of stack up here. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty good. Definitely enough that you, like when you throw these next to each other, you're not gonna be mistaken for which point they're on. So that's good in my book. I'm happy with that. That's a big sticking point for me with boards. So if a budget board does not have checkers that fit across pretty snugly, I'm not a fan of it. But that is good enough for me. All right. Let's see, let's kind of throw these back where they go. We've talked about dice, we've talked about cups, we've talked about play surface. You can see this faux suede kind of leaves some marks as you play on it. I'm sure, yeah, give that a little brush, it goes away. The points, pretty basic, also faux leather as well. The brown has a nice bit of texture on it, which I like. It's not just a plain color, and I think it stands out from the brown play surface when you got brown on brown. So that's pretty good. Overall, budget board, I'd be pretty happy with this. So there you have it. That is the Middleton Games 21-inch tournament board. I think this is a great value. So if we compare this to the Silverman & Co., another pretty affordable model from Gammon Village, you're gonna get a longer board, more checkers across the points, same size checker as the Silverman & Co. You're gonna get probably like a $40 to $50 discount over this board. So if you're really, pinching pennies, but you don't wanna play on like a tiny travel board, I think this is an awesome option. And yeah, if you can't make the upgrade to the Silverman, this is, I think, a good middle ground between the two. The components are great. The finishing is fine. I would say the stitching on the Silverman Co. is a little bit better. And this is kind of just folded over and glued, I think. But other than that, I think it's a respectable board. And thinking back to my second board that I purchased after my initial $20 travel sized one, I would have been really happy with this. I think it's a good step up for the beginner. So if you want to check this out more, I'll include a link to it down in the description, and let me know what you think, or if you have another board at the $100 mark or maybe slightly under 100 that you prefer. But I really appreciate you watching. I hope I've earned your subscription so you can see the other reviews coming in the future. I've got a very small pocket-sized backgammon set that I'm taking a look at, as well as my art gammon board, which I've been talking about for a long time. A couple purchases in the works to maybe get some more mid-high-end luxury boards, and those reviews will be coming sometime in the future. But thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time.